Hi guys, it's Auntie Belle with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, just to make sure that I'm in focus enough and there's enough light in here. Okay, yeah, there should be enough light in here. Now let me just really quickly, I'm just opening up my blinds in my room. I just want to make sure I have enough light in this room. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, you guys, I have not been around for a while. I am alive. I'm in the living. So, what I've been doing, I guess I should explain my absence. I've been gone for probably, I don't know, 2 weeks. I haven't really made one video, which was little Rhonda Lee. She had given me some Happy Mail. But besides that, you guys were like, is she working on anything? You guys, I've been working on a ton of stuff. I'm doing these, and I've been showing you guys these paintings, and I sell them in my Etsy shop, and they're paintings where, like, for example, I do the girl, I draw her up. You guys know I was selling, and I still am kind of. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do it. I sell my images in my Etsy shop, and then I combine it with this collage technique that I use, and over the collage technique, I paint over the collage technique, and at the same time, nothing is used as is. And I'll explain it as I go along. So, first of all, the background here. I believe it's hard always to remember because I mix so much paint and collage together, because nothing that I collage on here is not, it has paint on it, and also it's turned into something else. So I can't always remember what everything is, but I'll do my best to remember. Okay, so this I hand painted in myself here, and then this was a bird right here. You can barely see the shape of the bird. I painted the sky right over the bird, and then I put some clouds in. And then a really neat trick, you guys, how I get like this, like these little, looks like maybe there's wind coming through, or even just a ray of light hitting her. You just take your finger and go like this, and go across it. And if it's still too much paint, take a baby wipe and go back across it again. Simple. And that can represent, like I said, a gleam of light, or it can represent wind also. Okay, so then I put in some mountains back here. I collaged in some mountains, but then I put clouds right over it. So you can just see a little bit of mountains coming out, okay? And that was a collage piece. And all my collage pieces I get from whatever magazines. I have some samples of some collage pieces I'm going to show you guys. Right here, this was a little city, or a little building. I tore part of it out of the magazine, and then I went and made it into like a little water, like water or snow over the whole thing in the middle of the sky, like this little world. And then I threw some like wind or light beams over it. This right here was okay, I'm trying to see right here. There was like some little thing left here, so I thought, let's make that into like a little cave. So I went ahead and made that into a little cave. Oh, this is kind of cool. You can barely see it, but here there's a little bit of a sidewalk right here in front of the building, so I put little bits of water right there. And also, I should say, it's not just that. I made this more into a water feature. Okay, because so the buildings are here, and I made little things of water going off, and all that water drips down into the ocean down at the bottom. Let me just make sure you guys can see that. Yeah. Okay. And then at the end, I'll do some close-ups maybe if we have time. Okay. Then okay, this right here is a watch. And what I thought was cool about this watch is I made little planets on this watch. There's a planet here, a planet there, and a planet there, and I put little birds in there. And then I like to take like a little small thin brush, make a dot, and then go out like that, and that's like a little either comets hitting this little. So I made this clock into like its own planet. Okay. So then, and I put little stars, little birds. So I think that turned out really, really cool. It's a cool way to use really cool clocks in your pieces. And make them your own. And then right over here, I made this like a little trail and put these little tiny people. You can barely see them. So it's like a little mountain coming down the watch. Then I drew up my mermaid here, which I think she came out really, really pretty. and I painted her up. And this is all done in watercolor. The whole, I'm trying to make sure the whole thing is, yeah. I colored her face and her skin, and everything's watercolor. All of this purple here is watercolor. This actually I did with my Prismacolor pencils, and it's a shine technique to give her like the shiny hair. And I'm going to show you guys that technique because I think it's a really neat technique. And I'm trying to think of the lady who, can't think of the lady who I learned that from. But what I realized is Dee Dee Willingham, she's the one that also taught me about this collage technique. I first saw it on her channel, and I've just really, I've loved it. And you have to check out Dee Dee Willingham. I've mentioned her quite a few times because she's really inspired me a lot with my painting and my artwork. She had taught me a long time ago when you want to make like a ribbon or silk, something shine, you do it like this technique. So I will show you guys that technique in another video. Okay, continuing on, people, continuing on. Then I painted in some water here. And let me tell you guys this, I do all my painting, my collage, and then my painting overall, the collage work first, and then I take my girl that I draw and paint, and then I cut her out and I put her on top of the world where I fit her in where I want her. And okay, so but before I did that, so then I painted in all of this water, okay, and you know, with my, a lot of this was fingers, you know, and put in all the waves and everything. Over here is, well, I think this was a little bit of a flower left over, so I turned into a little water feature. I can barely tell what that was before, but I think it was a flower. Again, I just took my brush and I etched in some more like water, like little waterways, so everybody knows this is water. And she's like, so like her body is under the water. So I put her on top, and then I started taking my brush and my finger and etching water and bringing the water right across her and right across her so that she looks like she's underwater and half up and half underwater. This, underneath this watch here was some like flowers and stuff. In fact, this whole thing was like some landscape, little piece of landscape that I tore out of the magazine. And I brushed a lot of the blue water right over it. So you can't even tell that that was a landscape. That looks now like it's under the sea. And then there was some black hole left here with a little bit of a flower here. So I thought, oh my God, this would be great, like an underwater cave. So I kind of like an underwater cave and in its own world. So that's why I put in like the stars and the comets in here. So anyway, I think that turned out really cool. My artwork, some places in California have liked it. So I have like 4 places there. And maybe one here. I have to still check on that this Friday. Some stores in California who liked my artwork, and they sell a lot of really, they're kind of like new age type of shops. And then there's one cafe where all my artwork is going to go in there for a month. 9 pieces will be hung up at a time. And then she'll have some backup pieces if things sell, I hope. So, and I found some really good, and I talked to you about this last time, I found some really good photograph paper, 11 by 14, so it's about like this big. What is it? This is 11 by 14? I'm trying to think. One second. Yeah, these are all 11 by 14. So I found some photograph paper which prints these out really, really nice, and they come out so beautiful. The color comes out really, really vibrant. I get this photo paper from Costco if you're interested in making prints of your artwork. And then when you go to have it printed, I do it at, oh, I'm trying to think what print shop I use. Well, the two, they blend it together. You guys know which ones I'm talking about. Staples and Office Max. They're as one now. So anyway, and then I tell them to intensify the color a little bit, okay? And that makes my prints beautiful. So anyway, I got to get prints done of that. All right, next one. Okay, and this is the next one. So I've been busy, you guys. I know I haven't been on film, but I have been busy. This is one of my most favorite pieces I've done so far. I absolutely love it. I think it looks so... I just want to live there. I want to be her, and I want to live in this little mystical world. This is one of my favorite ones. Okay, again, okay, this is a cool thing I did in the background. I collaged in this little window pane here, which has colors all behind it. Then I collaged in, this is an eyeshadow little quad, not quad, eyeshadow, just an eyeshadow. And then here's a watch back here, a watch face. So I took the sky and I wanted these to all look like little planets. So this is a little planet now, and this is like a little clock that's time coming through the sky. Okay? What do you think sounds so romantic? Time coming through the sky. And then I turned this into like a little mystical little world that's appearing in the sky. And over all of it, I painted the sky in, hand painted that all in, and the clouds, all the lightning that's going on, the shooting stars. I mean, there could not be more going on in the sky. And then birds going crazy everywhere. And then this right here, okay, you can't even tell, but these were like a set of like 3 different eternity band rings. Those are something else I love using in my collage work and then painting over it. So I turned these rings into waterfalls. Isn't that kind of cool? Okay, then this is another, okay, let me make sure. I think this is another ring band right here, and I turned that into another waterfall here. And there's another watch behind her head, so there's another time in the sky behind her head. And then, sorry guys, there was something here, and I turned that into a waterfall too. And all that water, everything that's water is dripping right into this ocean down here. Then I also over here, this is another little world that little tiny piece I just put in here. I have, her tail is basically over it. I have shooting stars flying over it, water splashing up on it. And then I drew her and painted her up in all watercolor. I believe everything is watercolor. I'm just making sure. Yeah, her skin, everything is all watercolor. And of course, I tell you guys, I always do the world first, and then I draw her, and then I paint her up, and then I cut her out and place her on top of here. So when I placed her on top of here, I wanted her to look like she belonged in this little magical world. So I already had hand painted the water in. I brought the water up all the way to here, and started bringing some of the water over her body here. Also, this little world she's in. Okay, so now you can see like her hands look like they're in the water, and a little bit of of the bottom of her here, and her tail is dipping into the water. And in here, okay, after I cut her out, I had all this white space left in here, so I took blue paint and made a sky in there, and then I made little planets, and then I did shooting stars. I just started doing these. I think these are really, really cool. These can be shooting stars, or it can just be like to show like things are shining in the sky. Or if you have a piece of gold or something like this, you can throw one of these things on it and it looks like it's shining. Anyway, little thing. And then I put these little planets, and then there's little birds, and then a bunch of little white dots for stars. So inside of her her little area between her hair and her tail is a little world. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm recording still. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, and then down here, down here, this was a card from a calendar, and a clock here. And then on the wheels, I put more little clocks here. But I wanted this to be like under the water, like in the ocean. So I painted water completely over this car. So the car is just coming up through the ocean, just a little bit. And so is the clock. And then I wanted her also to be like half of her, well, at least this lower half here is inside the water, and it's resting on top of this car. So, and then I wanted those shooting stars to continue right into the water. So, anyway, this is one of my favorite pieces. I really like how this turned out. So, I hope you guys do too. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Pretty excited about that piece. Okay, next. Okay, here's another one. And this is a really different piece for me because it's very, it's almost steampunky. And I could have even put a steampunk hat on her. which, you know, I still may do, but then I'll be hiding some of my sky. Anyway, it's really done right now. So, there's something interesting about this piece. And let me see if I can find it where I originally figured out this color. Just a second, guys. Okay, I don't know what I did with that piece. Okay, see this really pretty dark sky? This is all hand painted in, this sky. And I had seen a ring in a magazine, I think. And in that ring, it was such a dark ruby red. I looked at that and I thought, oh my God, how pretty. I could put some clouds in there and some stars. Okay, this is all coming from a ring about this small. I saw that color. And so that made me think, I'd love to do a really dark sky and then, you know, put in all my shooting stars and my comets coming. I thought that turned out really, really pretty. And, okay, what this here is, these are, this is like a little set of watches right here. I think it's 2 watches and then the chain here. So I put the watches in the sky. I painted the sky around it, these 2 watches. Oh, also I have lightning going through it too. Inside of the watches, I painted those purple, okay? And then inside of that, then I put in some little clouds and some little birds. And then I have shooting stars, lightning, all hitting everywhere. So I think that turned out pretty cool. I mean, like, you can't even tell it's a watch anymore. I mean, it just looks like, oh my God, that's cool. What is that? So that's what that is. This was like some mountains or something, but when I got done putting in the sky, it ended up looking like a cave. So I painted all around it, and now the mountains are gone, and now it's a little cave. And then I put the little birds, which look like little bats, in there. And then I did my little swooshes, because I wanted to be like wind going through all of this like a hurricane. And then this was a piece of a watch here. And then a piece cut out here because I don't know why it was a little piece left over. So I put it here. This was where the little, you know, where it tells you the time and stuff on the watch. And I think there's 2 of them because one tells the time and then one might be like, I don't know, something else on this watch. Anyway, I turned that into its own little worlds too. So I painted the inside of the watches. This is only half of the watch too. I painted it blue, put in the clouds, put in lightning, little birds, and of course wind. Same thing here. I painted this purple though, and I made this into its own little world too. Again with birds, lightning, comets, stars, wind going through. And then, let me see what the heck. Excuse my head, guys, because I can't remember what. You guys, I think this is like a piece of like a dress right here. This whole thing was a piece of a dress. Anyway, I turned the whole thing into a little water feature. So this little mouth opens up here, and then all this water comes from this. And this was like a piece of a dress, and I don't know how I saw a water fountain out of it, a waterfall out of it, or a water feature, but I did. So, and all that water goes down into this hand-painted ocean or lake I put down here. And then, okay, here's my girl. I think she turned out really cool. And like I said, this is kind of different for me with this girl because she has pointed ears. I painted her blue. I really love this technique, and I've seen other artists do it where, like, there's drips of black paint, like tears coming from the eyes. And I just thought that looked so cool and steampunky, and I just think it looks cool. So, and then I tattooed her up with really pretty leaves. So if one of my girls is going to have tattoos, they're going to be pretty tattoos. So I tattooed her up with leaves here on her neck and on her arm. And did her hair real pretty with all the purple. And the hair goes right down into the water. You can see the water's been put right over it. So I like how she turned out. Very different for me. Okay, next, this is another piece where I haven't put a girl on it yet because I'm going to. I just haven't done that yet. Let me just see. Let's see if I can come in a little bit closer. Okay. Okay, you guys, I'm just seeing if I can come in a little bit closer. Okay. like I was saying, this piece here, I haven't put one of my girls in it yet, and I really like the way it looks, so I may not put a girl in this. I may just have it as this beautiful, really cool little magical world I like to make. But anyway, let's see, what did I do here? I hand painted in the sky. Of course, I have lightning bolts, comets, shooting stars, birds, regular stars, all going through the sky. This was like a little, I'm trying to think of it, because I'd love to live in one. Adobe, like little house, Adobe house here. And I made it into like a water feature. So I have water going around all of this and dripping off all of it. So now it's a water feature. But there might be some like little pieces of like weird plants in the sky, which I thought was kind of cool. So, but I painted all over that. So just a little bit shows up. And then, you know, there's the birds, shooting stars, wind, clouds, etc. Like my MO. And then here's a clock in the sky. And again, with this clock, I took the sky and went right over the clock. So you just see the clock appearing through the sky. And Shonda, you're the one who really got me to keep doing that, because you noticed that in one of my other paintings. You said, I really like how that clock is in the sky, and you painted over it. So the clock just like appears out of the sky. And so almost every sky I do that now. And I did it without really realizing, I don't know, that looks pretty cool until you pointed it out. So Shonda from Some Cards Girls, check her out. Awesome, awesome card artist. Yes, she does a lot of other things, but her cards are fabulous. Okay, and I really like in this clock how I painted the sky over it. But I really like how I did all the all the comets flying and the shooting stars and the birds. That looks really cool right there. Okay. Sometimes I don't really look at my stuff until like I show it, like really, really look at it. Okay, this was a bowl. I think this turned out so cool. This was a bowl and it was gold, and I turned it into a total water feature, or waterfall, and kind of a city at the same time. Okay, so up here, I put all the white and all the water dripping off. But inside of here, there's this little person I put in here, and he's fishing, okay? And he's fishing down into here. So I made this purple. This was gold before. I made this purple. I put in the clouds. I put in the clouds, shooting stars, the birds, and everything. So it's like its own little. So I turned it into like a water feature, but at the same time, it's its own little planet. So I think that turned out really cool. This reminds me of the what is that? Something in the Giant Beanstalk. Doesn't that remind you of that? This was some flowers that I got out of a magazine I put in here, but then I turned them, I think I turned them upside down. I don't think they were upside down. Did I? I think I turned it upside down. And then I just thought it looked gorgeous. And so then I went ahead and made it a part of, I made it like its own little world over here. So I put in cloud, I painted blue because this was all like some other color. So I put blue all in here, all in here, all in here. And then I put the sky in, the clouds, and the birds flying everywhere. I think that turned out really pretty. So its own little world over here. So now we have the sky and its own little world here. We have another little world here, one here. And then these were some buildings that I cut out of a magazine and turned into waterfalls. And all that water goes right down and drips right into here. I turned this was 3 rings I got out of a wedding magazine, and I turned that also into a I turned it into a water feature, so there's water dripping off of everything. But then I put all these little round things. These are all little planets that I put in. All these are planets. So now this is another little world with, of course, my MO, water, shooting stars, the birds, the whole thing. And then down here is some stairs that I cut out of a magazine, which I think turned out so cool. They were stairs to somewhere, but anyway, I have water dripping off all the stairs. I splash water on each step, so they look like steps, which they are, but then it also looks like a water feature at the same time, which I just think looks cool. This right here was maybe some landscape or something, but I wanted to make it look like it was underwater, so I threw in some you know, with my fingers, threw in some water lines in, and down here too, there's a little bit of water down here, and then I wanted things to splash up, like it's splashing up onto this little world and onto these stairs, and So I have little splashes there. Now, this is another cool thing you can do. This is a perfume bottle. And I took the perfume bottle, and I don't know what color it was. Maybe beige or made it look like it was clear. Anyway, I took a couple different shades of blue and painted this up, this whole thing in through here. Put beams of white light going through. Doing some water from the ocean. So there's some, oh, sorry. So there's some water splashing up. Again, my same MO. I have lightning. Okay, in this little world, there's lightning, there's clouds, shooting stars, comets. And up here, I put in 3 little people, and they're fishing. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 other people, and they're fishing. And I just think that looks cool. So you have another little world right here. So there's so many little worlds going on in this one painting, and it's one picture. So I really like it. So I think that that's going to stay the way it is, and I don't think I'm going to be putting one of my girls in there. Okay. Last, I want to show you, I have a tribute to Prince. I did a picture of Prince. Voila! So, this is a tribute to him after his passing. I was so sad to hear that he had passed. That's just sad. I mean, he's such a talented person. I think he plays over 10 instruments. That's just ridiculous in itself. His first 2 albums, and I didn't even realize, I knew he played 10 different instruments, but in his first album, he played every instrument in the album. Like, he didn't have a band doing it, he did it himself. Like, that's crazy. And he wrote the music, he sang the music, the whole thing's done by him. I mean, that's just, like they say, a musical genius. That's just unbelievable. So anyway, as soon as he died, I was searching for a photograph that I wanted to paint of him, and I just felt like, you know, when he had this hairstyle, this was like the Purple Rain days, I felt like that was just such a big time for him, that Purple Rain album. So that's the photograph that I got off of Google or Pinterest or something, and did my tribute to him. And so this is it. I did also hand draw. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to zoom in. You guys know he has what his insignia is. I put a little watch in here because you guys know I love watches. So this guy. But, oh, let me just show you down at the bottom. That's what he looks like down there. I think it turned out pretty cool. Tell me what you guys think. Okay, I'm going to go in really close here because I'm going to see if you can see that insignia. It might be too dark. I want you guys to see it. Yeah, I think it's too dark because the sky is really dark. And anyway, I hand painted. I wish you guys could see it. I hand painted in the corner his little. It's like what his guitar looks like too. It's that, and he wears it as a necklace. Anyway, it's too hard to see. It's too dark. But anyway, let me just come back out a little bit. But that's my tribute. Oh, you guys, I was doing so well. Oh, and do you guys like my my painted hands? I didn't even wash them or anything. And I did, and I want to let you guys know, I'm actually filming in a different room. You guys are like, that doesn't look like her craft room. Well, I have totally expanded into another room. So I have 2 bedrooms now for my craft room. But also, this room, also, let me give credit, is also my eBay room. So the other half is like, because I do eBay, I have to store all my eBay stuff to sell. So that's half the room. But I took over the other half, and it's a continuance of my craft room. So now I'll call this part my art studio because this is where all the paint's at. And so I just thought, cool, leave my hands painted, leave the paint on my station. I'm going to show you guys how everything looks because it's crazy in here. I'm going to show you how it all looks. There's my iPad. There's my paintings that I've been showing you. The paint everywhere. I'm going to take the Prince picture down. Oh, and really quick, because I think I didn't show you the bottom because I wasn't in focus. Just a second, guys. Okay, so that's what that painting looks like right there at the bottom. Because I think I wasn't in focus to show you guys. That's that perfume bottle on the right-hand side I explained about. And those are those steps that I turn into a water feature. That's a perfume bottle that I turn into its own little world. Let me zoom in and see if I can show you guys the actual people. See the little people right there? You can barely see them. Oh, okay. Is my camera going to focus back out? There you go. See the little people in black? I think those turned out cool. Anyway, just wanted to show you that again really quickly because I think I was zoomed in too tight before when I was trying to show you the whole thing. Anyway, okay. Let me put her down. I was going to show you my room, this where I'm working at right now. Let me get the paper towels out of the way. So this is how it looks now in my paint area now, because I'm painting like an insane person. And I'm doing all kinds of fun projects, but this is how it's looking. My big old pile of stencils and other crap over there. But I'm having an awesome, awesome time. I'm really getting back into my painting. And what I think is funny is that this is how it all started for me with YouTube. I was watching a lot of girls who were doing mixed media art. And that's what I was doing at first. And then I ran into Diana Reevely and I started doing her techniques too. And so that's how it all started. Now it's weird how I'm coming full circle. Not that I'm giving up on all my fabric and lace and all that, because I'll still be doing that stuff too, and my junk journals. But right now I'm focusing on this. Okay, there's one other thing I wanted to share with you guys. Let me put this back in here because this is what... Let me focus down a little bit. Okay. For the next 10 minutes of this video, I'm just going to discuss this really quickly. If you're interested in doing this collage work and then you do paint over the collage, I'm going to show you some examples of what I do. Okay, what I like to do is I go through magazines, and you know, well, I'll show you now. I want to show you guys how I also organize my collage collage fodder, F-O-D-D-E-R. Okay, I will show you that in a minute. But I'm going to show you some collage pieces and show you different ways to look at things. Because if you want to start doing some of this work, I'm going to do some small index cards, which can be like little art cards. And I'm going to do those next week and show you guys how I'm doing this. So if you want to start doing this yourself, you can. You can start off small. That's how I started out, doing art cards. And then you can build up these big worlds if you want. Or you can keep making art cards and send them to your friends and make cards out of them. Or whatever you want to do. Okay. So, like this right here, this is a necklace piece. I would cut this out, put this in maybe a sky, and use it as a planet. Okay? And then I would probably paint in, like where the red is, I would probably throw in some little planets. I'd throw in some little birds. I might throw some lightning over this. Okay, you guys seeing that now? Okay. I love to take flowers, roses, whatever type of flowers. These make perfect water features because all these little areas right here, like this, you can take your white paint and go right here. See? And you got to do the sound effects too. And then you can even go inside of here and come in here, follow it, water, 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 water. Okay, so flowers make excellent water features. And when you get done putting water over this whole thing, you can't even tell. Well, none of this stuff you can ever tell what it is when I'm done with it. So what you're doing is you're taking these pieces and you're creating these beautiful, magical worlds, and you're altering every piece. Every piece you do, you use it in a different way, and you're putting paint on it. Okay, so you're altering it, making it something completely different. I don't know what I'm going to do with this piece, but I think it's just cool. Is this fabulous? You know what? Now I see what I'm going to do with it. It's its own little world. Look at it. You can take this piece right here and put it in a sky and throw some sky around it. But it could be a little planet. Throw in your, well, right here could be a waterfall. So throw in some water. You could throw in some clouds right here. You can throw in some lightning. Birds flying everywhere. This right here, it's its own little world. That's how I see it. Okay. You guys are like, Angela, you're crazy. Okay. Perfume bottles. I love perfume bottles because these are their own little worlds too. Okay. So you can throw this underwater. You can throw this in a sky. You can throw this in a landscape. And what I like to do is I like to paint this whole thing so it's not even this color anymore because it's really light, so it'll take any color. Maybe with a baby white, put the color in so it stays kind of translucent. Or you can do it solid, it doesn't matter. And then start throwing in clouds, and you could throw in some planets and some stars and some birds. And down here, you could throw in, you can put in some of those people, like how I do, like the little people, they're little black people, which they're not really black people. They look black because they look like they're far away, okay? So throw in those little people right here, and they can maybe make this blue right here, so it could be like an ocean. Throw in some waves so they can be like fishing. Okay, now see how I just made an entire world out of this one little perfume bottle? Okay. This right here can go in the sky and be a planet. And then take some sky color and kind of go over it a little bit. And then outline it in white, and that could be a cool planet. This piece is really cool. This could go in an ocean scene, or even as landscape too, but in an ocean scene, and throw water over this whole thing. How cool would that look? Gorgeous, you know, so it look like an underwater, so you can see it like underwater, and make that a part of your underwater landscape. Okay, here's some flowers. Again, remember I was telling you about waterfalls? These make excellent waterfalls. Okay, again, put the water here. And then all this has water going around it. Then from there, I'll show you guys next week how you take it and make these into waterfalls. And then right into here, you can make all that water coming out of all these little areas out of the middle. When you're done, this looks like a waterfall. Okay. This was a card I got out of a paint store. For one, I like to get these cards because they always tell you different colors that go together. And I put these away in a book that I have that organizes all of my paint colors, paint combinations. So you can kind of get out of your realm of just always using the same colors. But anyway, the reason I got this because I thought this is cool. Is this gorgeous? Would this be the most beautiful purple mountain you've ever seen? I absolutely love it for that. And you can put that in and then do some painting. Make this a purple landscape, purple mountains here. Here you can just take it and make this into a sky. This could also be a cool water feature. I mean, you can do so much with that piece. I just thought it was fabulous. I love to put like birds or butterflies in my pieces. And here you can make this your own by putting in white dots all over. How cool would that look? You could doodle in here on this part. You could doodle the whole thing and make it. I just think that'd be really cool. Now this is another thing, and these are all these things you get from like Home Depot. This is another one that has like paint colors in it and stuff. So you got paint ideas, so you can rip that out and then use this for some collage fodder. This right here is a total water feature. How fabulous is that? Or throw that in your sky. And make it a little planet, which I think would look really cool. Throw in a little bit of clouds, throw some birds on there, throw some lightning. Gorgeous. Okay, so you guys get what I'm talking about now. Oh, a couple other things I wanted to show you. Be collecting a lot of different things. These are little calendars, especially little small calendars. These don't work as good. Well, they can, but they don't work as good as like my big pieces, my 11x17s. But if you're gonna do like art cards, you need some smaller pieces. Little calendars like this are great because look, you have all this stuff. See, you can use on your art cards. Again, like this here. Okay. It's all this kind of stuff that you can use that's smaller, that you need smaller for your art cards. Okay. One other thing I want to show you. Hopefully, I have my camera didn't run out. Okay, you guys are like, where are you getting all these cool watches from? Okay, there's this thing called the Robb Report Watch Collector magazine. This magazine is phenomenal. It is not cheap. It cost me, I think, $10. Yeah, I think it cost me $10 with shipping and everything. So, but the whole thing is watches, you guys. I mean, look. Let me show you guys a couple of things in this magazine. Fabulous. Now, if you're going to do like what I'm doing, definitely you can't be leaving, like if there's like their insignia and stuff on these, like how I put this in my artwork and, you know, I sell my artwork. Definitely, you know, make it your own by like, I color the whole thing in here. If there was ever a name on the watch, that name is covered up for damn sure. And I throw paint over it, and I make them into little planets and all that kind of stuff. So, Okay, so this whole thing is just full of the coolest watches ever. I love it. Look at that. Okay, so I got this off of eBay. Yeah, eBay. So go to eBay to get this if you want this. And then as far as like magazines and things like that, I'll just leave this here. As far as magazines, you guys, I get my magazines everywhere. I get them from, I get them cheap though. I don't ever buy anything new because the one thing about it too is I'm trying to keep things out of landfills. So I'm taking stuff that's going to be thrown in the landfill and I'm altering. I'm finding a new use for it and I'm altering it and putting it into my artwork. So you're doing some really positive things for the earth also and being so earth friendly. So I'm getting these magazines from, now this one was new, so I shouldn't say that. But I think this is the only new one I have, but I wanted to get a bunch of watches. So anyway, and you know what? Let me see how new this is or not. What year is it from? Let me make sure, because this may not be new. You know what, you guys? I don't think this is new. Okay, you know what? It's not new. This is not the newest one. So this is an old magazine too. And I still paid some money for it. Anyway. Okay. But I'm getting my magazines from garage sales, thrift stores. Some of my neighbors don't want some magazines. They give them to me. I've gotten books and magazines off the street because people are just throwing them away. So these things are going to all end up in landfills. It's really cool to be able to find these objects in magazines, turn them and look at them in different ways, look at them as something else, and then put paint on them and turn them into something else. And you can create these really cool, magical worlds. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. Next week I will do some art cards so I can do small little worlds like I'm doing here, but I'll do it so it's small because you know, because this is intense. This takes me days to do one picture because, you know, I draw the girls, I draw up the girls, I paint my girls, I put all my collage fodder on here, then I have to, you know, paint over all of that, and it takes a while to do each piece, so it's pretty intense. So I will do art cards though next week to show you guys the techniques I'm using, and that's the main thing, is that you don't need step by step of how I create this drawing or this world or this painting. You need the techniques, because from there, if you learn the techniques, then you can do whatever the heck you want to do, okay? And maybe you're not into like little fairy magical mermaid world. Maybe you're more into like Dee Willingham, who taught me this. She does like magical worlds, but she likes to do like outer space stuff a lot. So she does that. And then you can get your own style going of things that you like to collect out of magazines and do your own thing. I mean, everyone will have their own style and bring their own things in with this. So it's really cool. I love it. Next week, like I said, I will do a video on making some art cards. So it's a smaller version of this. And I think that's it, you guys. That's it. All right, you guys. Thank you guys so much for your time. And you guys, thank you for people who have been subscribing. I haven't been making videos for like the last couple of weeks, and I still have people subscribing. So thank you so much to my new subscribers. Thank you to all my subscribers who've been with me for such a long time. I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon because I never did like an over 1,000 subby giveaway, and now I'm way over 1,000. Like I think I'm at like, I don't know, 1,600 or something. I need to do I just did a giveaway for my birthday, but I need to do a subby giveaway. I haven't done that for so long, and I need to make it really big because I need to really, I mean, I skipped it, so I need to make it really big, and I really, really appreciate everybody, all your kind words, and all you guys' support. So it really means a lot to me. Okay, you guys, that's it for today. Talk to you guys soon. Oh, remember, subscribe, comment, and share. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.